So last week, if you can remember, we were we were trying to understand the control flow in Python, and just to remind you what we were learning last week, we used the hospital system as a as an example to guide us as we learned the control flow. So if you can remember, assuming this is the hospital system, this is where the system start, maybe by you clicking to that website or opening the app. So this is where you start the process, and after that, whenever you go to an hospital, chances are that you'll be asked to give some information. So this is where you'll feed that information, including maybe your name, maybe your ID number, and so forth. And based on that, if it is a manual setup, you are likely to be asked whether it is your first time visiting the hospital or not. So this is what you are using. Remember, we said this one, we're using this one for decision making. So you'll be asked, is this your first time? So you'll be asked whether this is your first time. So is this your first time? So remember, you started here, you gave some information, you are asked whether it is your first time or not. And based on what you give, assuming it is a computerized system, we'll have provision for those who are coming for the first time. So if you say yes, it is the first time, you'll be asked further information if it is the first time. If it is yes, it is the first time, then you'll be asked further information. Maybe the kind of illness that you have, uh, maybe maybe the signs, and whether you have been in medication before, maybe health history. You'll be asked about your health in the past. So these are the things that the doctor will ask you if you are the first time, if this is your first time you are coming to the hospital. And based on this, you'll be referred to, maybe you'll be given some medication, some people will be taken to ward. So based on what you've given here, the doctor may decide to take you to the lab, for example. Sorry for this. So you may be taken to the lab. You may be taken to the lab, or yes, you may be taken to the lab, or so there is a decision here. Sorry, before that, there is a decision here that the doctor is likely to make also. The doctor is likely to make another decision here to based on the information that you have given. So I show my drawings. So based on the information that you've given here, the doctor will figure out, is this information enough? So is this information enough? Is the information that you've given enough? Maybe if he's not satisfied before giving you the medication, if it is no, they are not enough, the doctor still needs some maybe clarification or some test, they will send you to the lab. And after that, from the lab, maybe the results will be given to somewhere. uh, the results will be given maybe to the pharmacy, whereby you'll be given some medication. So the doctor will now refer you to the pharmacy, and after that you are given the medicine, and that is the end. You get out of the hospital. So remember, you've started there. After entering the hospital, you're asked some basic information. The system is computerized. It will check whether. So these are a decision that we are making. These are decisions that we are making as the system. It is making a decision whether you are based on maybe your ID. Is this your first time visiting? If it is yes, then you will be asked these questions. You'll be asked, of course, even if it's not your first time, you'll be asked of the kind of illness, the signs. But remember, here the system is giving some history, the health history. If you had visited the hospital, it's likely to say maybe on this day you visited the hospital, this was the kind of illness, this is the medication that you received, and now based on that, the doctor will know the kind of illness that you have today. Is it related in any way with what you are passing through and so forth. And based on this information, they'll find out if this information is enough for you, is enough for them to give you medicine or not. Of course, if it is enough, the doctor will either give you medicine or refer you to pharmacy. So if it is yes, the information that you've provided is enough for the doctor to make that decision, they will send you to the pharmacy. If it is not enough, then they'll send you to the lab. Maybe they run some tests. And remember, I don't want to further this because in some cases, someone in the lab may send you to another lab, maybe something like X-ray or ultrasound and so forth. So, but there's this other person. Oh, this is sorry. Is this the first time? This is the first time. So there is no history. I think I gave the information for someone who is not their first time. So no, it is not your first time. That is why you are asked on is this your first time? No, it is not your first time. That is why the system will find the records, the past held records. Someone else comes and it is their first time. So if it is their first time, they will be asked. So they will be taken to another place. Actually, it is the same place here, but there will be no records. So if it is no, there will be no records. So they'll give their information, maybe their name, like this other person, the signs of illness, and there is no history. So they'll give many. Maybe they will be asked whether they have visited another hospital before, because it is their first time visiting this hospital. Whether the disease has they occurred before, so they'll be asked these questions if it is their first time they are visiting. So what we are basically doing here is that we are making a decision. We are making a decision, and based on this, they will. So after giving this information, the doctor can either can also make another decision whether the information that the patient has given is enough to give them medicine or not, or need to go to the lab like the other one. So as you can see, uh, so here we are asking whether information is enough to give you the medicine. So whether it is enough or not. So based on that, you'll be referred to the lab or and from the lab to the pharmacy. Yeah, if the information that given here, the doctor is satisfied that based on what you've given, you can be given some medication. Then you are taken to pharmacy and you exit or you go out of the hospital. So in programming, this is what we normally call the control. Sorry, the flow diagram. So this diagram will usually help you. It is important that you know these flow charts before you can even implement the system. I think we touched a little bit about this in our first session, whereby I told you whenever you're creating a system, whenever you're building something, it is important for you to try to figure out in a piece of paper, even before you think about writing some codes. It is important for you to write them in a piece of paper. So our main focus last week was here, whereby we were trying to make this decision. This was our focus area. For those who missed last week, I'll try to record a session. I just wanted to, so that we'll be on board together even as we start this session. And we talked about the if else statement and if else statement like this one. So the system will find out if it is their first time. Take them, ask them this information, ask them about the history of illness. Else, so it is if, like we are making the decision, if it is their first time, if it is their first time visiting the hospital, ask these other things. Have you visited another hospital before? Have you suffered this kind of illness before? And many others. But if else, if it is not their first time, don't ask the records, don't ask the history, because you have the history. Maybe that patients usually come for regular medication, so you don't need to ask many information because you already diagnosed. If they were sent to if they were sent for the CT scan, for example, X-rays, you have those images with you. You have those X-rays pictures. You don't need to send the person once again, though in some cases you may need to, but you'll at least you'll have those information about the patient. So we are making a decision. We are making a decision, and just to write some code. So someone will come to the hospital and they will be asked their names. Hope you can remember we are using the input function to collect the to collect the information from the user, and they'll be asked what is your name, and uh, and then, sorry for that. I just want to skip. They are supposed to be asked things to do with age, but I just want to ask a simple thing. Uh, first time, first time, or maybe another question. The kind of visit, kind of visit. So they will be asked. Uh, they will be asked using the input, of course. They'll be asked, is the first time first time visiting, is this the first time visit or the first visit? And then you will expect them to give us a yes or no. Maybe maybe uh, reply with one yes, two for no. I'm just making it simple. I'll show you how to do that basically without using one yes, two no. In a future class, actually not today. So let me zoom so that you can see. And then now you will ask this information. And remember, we are collecting here the integers, one or two, so you can convert them to the integers. If you have challenge with that, kindly refer to our past videos. We explained how to collect the input from uh, from the user. So after that, now we are making the decision. If kind of visit, if kind of visit is equals to one, then we are telling them, remember one here is it is their first time visit. We are asking them, we ask them, we ask them, what is your health history? What is your health history? Else, so if this is not their first time, if this is not their first time, you may not need to ask them their history. You may need to ask them, what is your concern today? Maybe they are coming to collect some medicine, maybe they are coming for checkup, and so forth. So we can run this. I'm using the terminal. I'm usually interchanging between the VS Code and the Google Colab so that you can run this in your phone. So I'm running it here. So to run it, you just write Python. Remember, we are in the part where this file is located. This file is located in my computer in a folder in my desktop called software dev, like that. So that is why I can run directly here. You can also use the CMD on PowerShell. You can find that in our previous session. So Python, then the name of the file. I named this file as the control flow. So okay. Sorry, we have two control flows here. I don't want a copy. Uh, control flow. Okay, so that one. You can hit tab many times if you have more than one file with the same or similar name. Like as you can see, this is the folder that we are trying to access from terminal. We have this one, which is copy. We have this one, which is a Word document. We have this one, which is a PDF document, and this is the one that we are supposed to refer. So as you write here, as you hit the tab, Python will be trying to find out the names with like that name. So as you can see, that one is copy. We are not interested with that. We are not interested with Word. We are not interested with PDF, and we are interested with the Python file. That one. So let us run and see what's your name. And my name is Noel. This is the first visit. I reply with let me say yes, it is the first time. So I reply with one, and as you can see, I'm asked what is your health history. Remember, this is just for demonstration. There is a way that the system will ask this one once maybe we develop that system. But this is just to show you how practical what we are doing is. And just so that is what we were trying to learn last week. Sorry, I was not able to record a recap session, and this is what we are now learning. We were supposed to learn today, as you saw in our group, that we are learning the loops in Python. And I want you to think of this. A few weeks ago, we talked of list. We talked of list, and we said that this was the collection of items that were ordered and they can be changed. So you can find the video on that. But just think of the list of students attending this program. So the list of these students attending this program, and we have a list of 120 people attending this program. Just we're using the square brackets and separated by that. So we have student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, student 5, student 120. And we want to send a message. Remember, I told you some few weeks ago that I'll try to write a program to prompt you or to send you messages in your phone as a reminder. I think I've not been having much time, but I'll try when I get time to write that program. So, what this does, if we are to do it manually, then we'll go to our phone, find the number of student one, and we send them the message. Go to student 2, we send them the message, and this will be tiresome. If we are to do this, imagine if we had like 112,000 students. This is not practical to send messages one by one or manually to 12,000 students. Remember, these are list of students attending this program. So for us to be able to send these messages, we are going to use a loop. Like we are going to repeatedly send them messages. We are going to tell the Python program, as long as 120 students have not received the message, keep sending the message until you reach the last student. So that is a for loop. So loop is something that is repetitive. Just think of this. It is something that is repetitive. So you keep repeating this until you've reached the end. Just think of suppose you want to a program to write numbers from 1 to 100. So for you to do that, you are going to use a loop. You are going to use a loop. So you are going to use a loop, and the loop you'll tell the loop start from 0 and all the way to 100. Give me those numbers, or give me the even numbers. If for that case, give me the even numbers. Give me the odd numbers. Give me the prime numbers, or give me all the numbers from 0 to 100. And the program, it will be able to give you the numbers from 0 all the way to 100, all the way to 100, using a loop. So it will repeatedly give you. It will start from 0, counting to 1, 2, 3, counting to 4, 5, until the last number. So I want us to see how we can do this. And maybe before we try this example, I want to use this example that we were using in our last class. This one. This one for list, we had this list of counties. I want to copy this list so that we can use it. So I am deleting this, or let me comment. Maybe you may need this. Let me comment out. Remember, we were using the triple quotes comment to, to write some comments. So instead of me writing each bending each of these lines, I can just open with triple quotes and close with triple quotes. So now we are here. So I have copied this list from our last class, which was all about counties. It was all about counties. So maybe we need to add names to each county. Now that Nairobi is a city, Mombasa is a city, Nakuru is a city, Kisumu is a city, maybe we need to write them to add a city here. So let me just print first so that you can see what we have. So like that. Sorry, I've not added print statement. So we print counties. We print counties like that. And as you can see, this is the list of counties that we have here. We have 4 counties. We have 4 counties: Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Kisumu. So I think we've not talked about concatenation, list concatenation, but I think that's coming up. But I just want us to see how we can now print individual. Remember, we just printing the whole list here. How can we print the individual? And there are some other methods. I think they are advanced for you guys that we can use to know their indexes and the value. So, but let me print. So, we are using the loop. We are using a for loop here to go through each and every item in this. We are using the for loop. If you can remember, last week we said here that for loop somewhere, where is it here? So the for loop is one of the keywords in Python. So as we were talking about variables here, whereby we said we are not allowed to use the reserved keywords. So for this case, for has been reserved for looping through some items or some lists. So we are looping through the list. So we are using the for. So so for so in for loops we have a we have we have a we have an identifier. Uh, we have an identifier like this for item, and we have this. We are using for item like this is an identifier. We'll be using each like for each item in this list. So for item in list, remember we are not allowed to do that, but that is just a convention, like uh, like the syntax for running for. So for that given item in a given list, please do something. So we are saying here, please do something. So for item in a list, please do something. In our case, we can start printing. Remember here we were printing all of them. So uh, we can say now, we can say now for item, but we can make it meaningful. We can make it meaningful because these are cities. Why don't we use a city like for city in in countries? In counties. Oh, sorry. These were counties. They are not cities. Sorry. So we can use the county like for county in counties. This is the list that we are talking about. This is the list that we are working with. Counties is the list that we are working with, and a county is a so counties is the list we are working with, and a county is an identifier. Like we are using it to refer to each item in this list. So we'll say for uh, for county in counties, we do what? We print county. Let's see. So like each time you are looping, remember we have four counties here. We have four counties here. So we have Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, and Nakuru. Like we have four counties. So we are telling Python, we want you to print. So you start the loop, like you start the process we were referring to here. You start the loop. So you print Nairobi, check the list. Do we still have other counties? Yes, we still have Mombasa, Kisumu, and Nakuru. You print the next item, which is Mombasa. You print the other item, which is what? Which is Kisumu, and you print Nakuru. And once you reach the end, you can end the loop. So the loop will end after you've printed every item, just like we were talking about here, sending messages. So the system in this case, which we will see, will stop sending messages once all the students, 12,000 or if it's 120 students have received the message. So the loop will stop. So it's the same case here. So the loop will stop after we we printed all the counties. And if we can run this and see, let me zoom a bit so that you can see. We can run and see. As you can see, the loop started, and we printed Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru, Kisumu. So we printed each and every one of them. I want us to take it to another level a little bit, but not that hard. Think of it. We talked about the list methods. I don't know if it is. We still have it here. Uh, we added in another one. oh, they are here. We talked about the string methods. Like we can use this one to make the string to lower, to upper, to capitalize, and all that. So I want us to use dot lower because these are strings. Like these are the list of strings. Remember last time we said we can have the list of strings, we can have the list of numbers, we can have the list of booleans, but also we can have the list of mixed data types. We can have the list having both the strings and the numbers. But for our case, the list here is for strings. So because it is strings, what suppose as we go through this list, instead of manually, maybe you want to convert them to uppercase, like to you want to make each string here to be uppercase. So instead of doing it one by one, going to Nairobi, converting it, we can automate this. Just think of it. If we had 47 counties and you want to change them to uppercase, it will be difficult for you if you do it manual, but we can just give the system the counties and we can tell the system to convert it to uppercase. So we say here for item in list, for county in counties, what do we do? Want to convert it to uppercase. So we'll say this item here and we will call that method. So okay, I will tell you more about this when we get to functions. But just remember we were using dot and the methods that we want to use. Like you can see, if I click upper, I get that suggestion. If I click L, I have lower. I have that L strip and the rest. So you just type the first word and you get what you can select what you wanted. And as you can see, this is accepting the string and converting it. We want to see convert each of these, so we print them and convert them to integers. Let's see. uh, okay, let me clear this so that we can see it well. We're using the CLS. So as you can see, this Nairobi here is mixed. We have the first letter starting with capital, and the rest are lowercase. But if you can see the result here, Nairobi is in uppercase, everything Mombasa is in uppercase. So like think of this. That is we've used the loops to go through each this list and convert every item in the list. We convert it to uppercase. That is what one of the things we can achieve. We can achieve with loops if we want to convert everything to lowercase. And as you can see here, everything has been converted to lowercase. So everything has been converted to lowercase. I want to try do something here. Of course, there is a space there. Uh, Okay, remember what I told you when we were starting this session that maybe you want now to add, you are printing counties, but you want to indicate among maybe these towns in Kenya, the ones that are cities. So as you can see, I don't need to don't worry about anything. I just wanted you to see the result. We'll come back to this one. We'll be talking more on strings. We'll see this when we get to string manipulations and things that we are able to do with strings. But I just want you to see that with just a single line of code, you can add everything. Maybe you wanted to tell someone that, oh, these are the list of counties. You just give someone a list and they are wondering what are these Nairobi and Kisumu, uh, Meru, and all, and etc. etc. So to make it maybe make sense, the person may ask you uh, to indicate whether it is a county or what. Is it a river? Remember, some other people may not know about maybe Nakuru. So for you to achieve that, you will not need to go to each and every county and, uh, and add it manually, but you'll just use this single line of code to convert all the counties to to add this string, so that it will be Nairobi County, Mombasa County, Kisumu County, and as you can see the result here. So that is one of the things that we can do. There is more that we can do with with strings with strings that we'll come back to that. But I just want us to have a feel or have a taste of what loops can do, what for loops can do. So let's come to our example. Let's come back to our example here, whereby we are trying to send a message to 120 students. So there are methods that come with Python that we can use them to manipulate lists. But for now, I want us to have the students, and we have the list of students, and for each student we want to send a message. Maybe we can try to print we can try to print each student, to see each student, assuming they were names. I've just used numbers because of time. So assuming they were names, so like we can say for, remember we were for I in students. So you for those who work with other languages, you'll realize that these identifiers, we like using I or J, we like using them as identifiers, but it is good for you to indicate that it is student, so that you'll not be confused that what is I. Like I here is usually stand for the items in the list. So like for item in this list, for item in this list, for item in this list. So like for student in this list of students, this is the number of students. Let me indicate because I indicated the numbers. So for I in this number of students that we have, we can print, we print I, we print I, we print I, and let's see what that is. And as you can see, oh, it's still printing this one because of this. So let me comment. Before we send them, maybe we want now to send message. So we'll have obviously we'll have a function somewhere, or we'll have something that is responsible for sending the message. So we'll have that one in place, but just assume for now that this is the message that we are sending. So maybe the message. Remember, we can have the message in a variable like that. So the message is hello, welcome to our class today. So that is the message, and you want to send it to all these people. I want to send it to this number of students. I've just used the numbers. I've just used numbers, but I'll reduce this one to a few, maybe 5 names, so that we can see. But I just wanted you to see. So the system will go through each student, sending the message until the last student here. So let's see that. And as you can see, the message will be sent to all these students without you struggling, without you sending them one by one. Like one now to include their names, one to include their names. So we will say uh, these are the students we have. Uh, these are the students that we have for now. These are the students that we have for now. So, assuming that is the students that we have for now, this is not now the number of students, but it is the students. So, for each student, we remember the message is usually personalized. So, it will say something like hello, and then the name of the student. So, it will be something like hello, then the name of the student. So what we do, we'll have something like this. So instead of printing message, we are printing this one. I just want you to have a feel of what we are going to learn when we call the strings. We are using what we call the formatted strings. The formatted strings. So we will say, okay, don't worry about formatted strings because it is something that we are going to learn in maybe our next session when we get to the strings. We still coming back to strings. So hello, and then now that variable, hello, and then the variable like that. Hello, and then we have that variable. Remember, this variable was a student. Okay, in VS Code, I want to change one to student. In VS Code, you just highlight that one and Control D to highlight both of them. So for now, we have this I and this one. So if I try to change, like both of them will be changed. So for this case, I'm not using that because it will change this one. But suppose you want to change something, all of them at the same time, you can use Control D to highlight all the instances of whatever you are changing. So I'm changing it to student so that it can make sense to us. So for every student, like so for every student in the list of students, what do we do? We send them a message like this. So let me clear this so that we can see it, and let let me increase this so that you can see. So if I run this code like that, and as you can see, hello Noel, welcome to our class. Hello Natalie, welcome to our class. Hello Nelly, welcome to our class. Hello Noah, welcome to our class. Hello Anthony, welcome to our class today. Just imagine you're able to achieve that using the loops in Python. So you can send people messages, the personalized messages. If it was an hospital, maybe you are asking somebody their name, their age, and maybe their location, and you want to send them the feedback message. Tell them hello, whatever may be the name, hello Mercy. Maybe this was your test, the results from the lab, and you need this medication, or you need to come back for this kind of medication. So you will send them the personalized message. Now that will be having a database that will be keeping that record regarding their history, their health history. So you are able to achieve that using the loops. So we are able to achieve so many things using the loops. Uh, just uh, just have this in mind that we are going through each and every item as we've seen, and we are doing something with those items. I know we still have more. We still have more to learn with loops and some list functions that and how we can use them. Remember when we were learning the list, there are some parts I skipped. I told you that we'll come back to it once we get to the list. So I can see the time for today is how much spent, and we'll stop from there for today. But I'll try to record another session to still emphasize on loops, because I just wanted you today to feel and to see what you're able to achieve with loops, so that I'll record another one that will be details, that will have most of the many examples and many scenarios that you can use the loops, and how you can manipulate things, how you can even find the indexes. Remember, we were talking as we were discussing lists. We say that the list, they are ordered, or like we can access each item using the index. So there's a way that we can find out the items that are in the index in in the list. So that will be coming up. I'll try to do that when I get time, and upload it so that you can follow along. And I did also promise to record something on tuples and dictionaries. That will be coming also in a few. I'll try to record those sessions. So stay in touch with in the group and in our channel, so that you can find the updates whenever they are there. In case of any question regarding today's class and other coming classes, or any concept, you can always ask in our group. And if you are not in our group, you can always ask me, or in any post that we make, you usually include the link to the group, so you can join our group. You can participate there, you can ask questions, you can connect with others who still learning the same, and all will be fine by you. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining our today's session.